Hey y'all! And welcome to the Sorry Not Sorry Generation podcast, where we bring you a not-so-healthy dose of humor and reality as we get our hands dirty with some serious nostalgia and question everything.
Let's dive in.
Hey y'all!
Hey y'all!
It's Misty.
It's Ani.
And Erin.
And today we are playing a fictional version of our fictional version of Smash, Pass, or Run for Your Life. And it'll involve, the basis of the game is that we've all created PowerPoint that has fictional characters on it. And the only thing the other two people have to judge on whether they would smash, pass, or run for their life for the character is a very small, like, little description and an illustration that has been provided by whoever made the PowerPoint. So, like, my theme, we kind of, like, split it up into different categories and stuff like that. I went with, like, anime and a couple of, there's, like, 2 comic book characters in there, I think. And then Ani and Erin split theirs up between different book series. And
romance books.
High fantasy romance.
So they're going to have to judge the characters I present to them on whether they would smash, pass, or run for their lives based on appearance, and, like, it cut 2 little pieces of trivia that I give them, and then I'll explain to them about the characters afterwards of whether or not they're psycho, they're not so psycho, whatever. And how,
I have a strong feeling that a lot of your characters that you've chosen will be smash, but also run for the fucking hills. Whereas I know for me and Erin, a lot of ours are just smash the button so fucking hard. Just,
I mean,
it's because we're lonely. Our standards have fallen into the gutter.
Based on what we have talked about, though, of the characters that y'all like, with this, like, the few series that I have also read, like, no, I do have to say, I think both of your guys' choices will be smash, but run for the fucking hills. Okay, like, no, let's be straight here for a second. Like, I think y'all's choices are
smash,
gonna
be, but wave that red flag above your head. Woo!
It's like a neon red flag waving in that background. So, like, you know, let's get that straight here, all right? So, but the idea is that I will show that we're going with my PowerPoint first. And yes, we did do these with PowerPoint, but it is, for the record, the most effective way to do this.
It fucking worked, all right?
Especially because not one of us is in the same building as somebody else at the moment, so... And so it would be a little harder to do this in any other way. So, but we'll start with mine, and we'll go from there. And then, because I did the anime and a couple of comic book characters, and then I think Ani, which series did you do?
I did the Throne of Glass.
We did multiple series at this point. Yeah, mine has kind of become her PowerPoint. I have some minimal input on it because my wife went to craziness this week, so we combined, but it'll be good.
We've got Throne of Glass, A Court of Thorns and Roses, and
some miscellaneous
From
ones
Blood
too.
and Ash.
Crescent City, From Blood and Ash, from Blood and Ash.
What's the V.E. Schwab one.
V.E. Schwab.
That's the author, not a.
So the oh my god, what's the name of the series? I forgot. The different Londons.
Shadow.
But the point of them was to present with characters that we didn't know really very much or anything about. Like, I picked anime characters that I think that they wouldn't really know much about. There's a couple of, like, mainstream ones on there. Like, I did pick some characters they've probably heard of, but a lot of them are going to be ones maybe they don't know anything about. But then in reverse, they picked series that I've not read, which I, for the record, have not really read any of those books that they just mentioned. And except for maybe, like, the first one or two here and there. Like, I read the first Throne of Glass, so yay.
That's about
it.
Yeah, I tried. Woo! That's
She's like, I forced myself to finish the book, but you know.
Yeah. So I still can't tell whether or not I read that first Court of Thorns and Roses or not. Like, based on my Goodreads,
you just can't figure it out.
Like, based on my Goodreads, it says that I've read it, and I'm just like, like the plot that is provided to me by Goodreads tells me that it sounds a lot like a book that I've read, but at the same time, like what you guys were talking about, there's a lot more to the plot than that, and I'm just like, but I don't remember anything else with the plot with that. So
I feel like the Goodreads description is maybe the first, third, fourth, maybe.
like, does she go back to the human world at the end of the book, or is it in the beginning of like the middle-ish book part of the
goes
book?
back in the middle ish, late middle. Because then she goes back to the fairy. I don't know. You know, it's hard to tell you exactly where, but she does go back for a bit. But then
I don't, based on I can't find what I think the book is either. Like, I can't find anywhere of the description of that book that doesn't come up with A Court of Thorns and Roses. So, I would just have to read A Court of Thorns and Roses to figure out whether or not I've read A Court of Thorns and Roses before.
And it's one of those, like, please don't judge the entire series by this first book because it becomes so much else.
So much more and so much better.
That's the same thing you guys said with, like, Throne of Glass, too, and I'm just like, I have such a hard time continuing with the series if I didn't like the first one, so.
No, and I totally respect that, because it's just like, I know there's many series where I've been told, oh, it gets better. Well, you know what? It should have been better in the first one.
Yeah, you know, and, like, with the first book, like, especially if it's, like, your debut novel and stuff like that, if it's not that great, but you get better as you go on, that's good. But, like, once you move on past your, like, first series or two, like, you should probably just start off a little stronger than that. So it's kind of like, you know, but I don't know.
Yeah, that There's Zodiac Academy one, Ani. People are like, oh, it gets better. And I'm like, well, I hated the first one. So what do you want me to do? Like
just mild dislike for the next one.
Like I got to 100 pages and said, no.
Now my friend Anna's just like, because I told her that you stopped it after the first one. I told her that you didn't like it, and she's like, did she only read the first one? I'm like, yeah. She's like, that's why.
Okay, but also there are too many millions of other books.
I know.
So Misty, I get it. If you didn't like it, it's totally fair, and
I mean,
just read what you're enjoying.
Yeah, at the moment I'm not enjoying much in the world of mainstream popular books. So, like, popular authors, I guess I should say. There's a lot of the ones that you see on, like, you know, Bookstagram and all that. I'm just like, I didn't like that, though.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't good. So
yeah, like, I have that with The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. I really didn't like that book.
Yeah.
Like, I was determined to finish it. You DNF'd it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you DNF'd it. I was determined to finish it, and when I finished it, I want to throw that book across over how much it pissed me off.
Like, I liked, like, the flashback sequences, but I hated the, like, present day stuff. You know, and I'm just like,
the guy was such a weeb.
And
not
I don't even remember that much about him because I didn't care.
He was like the D-rated version of what the human version of what the god was supposed to look like.
Yeah, I'm like, I just did not care for that one. I struggle with her as an author in general. Like, I want to like her, and I like the ideas that she has. Yeah. But despite my best efforts, I have not connected with any of her books.
The trilogy that I read, like, I liked. It was a little slow, but, like, honestly, the third book was where everything was just beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And she's got the other series, like, it's like this duology that the author, likes more, and I'm like, I'll give it a shot. But, like, when I read the description, I was just like, me.
Yeah. And the description doesn't pull you in at all.
Vicious.
It's just like, yeah,
people
I get that.
rave about it, so I'm just like, all right, well, give it a shot sometime.
Did you guys ever try to read Serpent and Dove?
Yes, I read all three. I liked the first one, disliked the second one, hated the third one.
I haven't read it yet.
It was all over, like, Bookstagram and, like, and all that stuff for, like, a really long time. And, like, I'm like, okay, I'll give it a shot. I'm always really hesitant to read books that are heavily into Christianity, because usually, like, you pretty much know how those books are gonna go. and it's just like, I wasn't super into the premise, but it was so popular, and I'm like, I'll give it a shot. Like, there's like interesting parts about the description that I like, and oh no, I hated it. It was a slow trudge to the finish line with that one, and I'm just like, ooh, it was a bad book.
It's weird because the first time I read the first one,
mm-hmm.
I really liked it.
Yeah.
Then I had acquired the second and third book as they came out, going, oh yeah, I'll read it, right?
Yeah.
So then, but then I had completely forgotten, like, you know, in plot points and stuff. So I reread the first one, and I was like, meh. You know, there were things I liked a lot, like, less before than the second time around.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second one, things start to happen, and like like the characters like stop being nice to each other.
Yeah.
The larger circle, I felt like they like started being like more like, it went from like cute banter to snarky bullshit, and I'm just like,
Yeah.
And then by the third one, she had killed off like the only sweet character left.
Yeah.
And which it's weird that I pictured the character that this is as, you know, that French kid on Instagram that you show me. He's not a kid, he's older than me, the 35-year-old. But that's how I pictured this kid. It's just beautiful, precious angel. And then she killed him, and I just went, mm-mm. And then everybody got really nasty in the third book, and it's like, you all are just not nice anymore. And I realize you guys are fighting a war and blah blah, and things have happened, but also, why are none of you the same person? At all.
It's just like there's a difference between growth and just like departure from the character itself.
They were all, it was like, and with through, you know, Anya, I'm gonna apologize for this spoiler, and to anybody, but like, something that happens is that Reed gets a spell put on him, for lack of a better term, and he kind of forgets that he's with Lou. He forgets all about her. So he mega regresses. Like, he's all like, he doesn't remember being married to her. He doesn't remember anything. And so then he's back on the witch hunter bullshit.
Yeah.
And everyone's just like, but you're married to her. And he's like, no, I the fuck I am not. And
I don't like him, for one thing. He's so, but like, pious. I have a hard time reading books where they're just so religious, and it's just to the point that it's painful to like to read. It's just like, because they're so Christian in the way of like the old ways of like just being super sexist and like just against literally everything, and it's just like
I read a series that was heavily religious, but like, it wasn't like, I don't know how to describe it. It's the grave.
Was it
Grave
Prejudice
Mercy.
as fuck?
No, it's Grave Mercy. So like, it's young adult romance. It's literally warrior nuns.
Okay.
And like, they do a lot of work for like
the religious book
god
that
of death.
Yeah, but it's like religious book that doesn't punish people and thought that's not that religion, and like takes it a little more seriously. But this one like heavily relies in actual Christian like facts and stuff like that. So like,
no,
I don't even like Christian history, let alone all this.
Like, the slight detractor for me for this one was like, even though I finished them all and I liked them, but like, I just had to get over the hurdle of like, this is a little too religious for me, for like all the rituals and this and that. I'm like, I stop it.
Yeah, like I just don't like when there's a situation where there's like, it's it's very hard for me to continue reading when there's like a religious elder structure too. And then whoever is down below is, you know, subject to their wrath. And I'm trying to think of what the book that I read was it last year? Pulling up my Goodreads, but it was kind of one of those things, but then it ended up being a lot more like did you ever see The Village by M. Night Shyamalan?
No, I try to avoid M. Night Shyamalan movies.
Fair. But it's the one where live in like it's this rural village, and this is not a new movie, so no spoilers. I don't care. They live in a really rural village. There's kind of this, pastoral overtone. They aren't too religious, but they do have this belief that there are these creatures out in the woods, and you don't wear like certain colors because it attracts them and whatever. But then it turns out that it's these people who decided they didn't want to live in the modern world anymore, so they bought up all this land to raise their families in this commune kind of thing. But they wanted to go back to a simpler time because they'd had horrible things happen to them someone's sister got murdered, anyway. So
Cult Amish is what I'm hearing. Cult Amish.
But like more by choice than by religion. Like yeah. It's kind of weird.
That's like where the cult part comes in.
Yeah.
And like
that's
a cult of part. Choosing to be Amish, but still.
Okay.
But anyway, but my point in describing the village is this book that I read last year, Ecstasia. It's kind of like that, where there is a much more modern society, but these people decided to go with the religious side of it, and it's kind of pseudo-Christian, but then they have these girls who are basically whipping girls for the entire community. So they have special days where these girls are literally beaten for and people get to take their anger out on them.
That's disgusting.
It is.
Do these girls choose this?
They do get kind of brainwashed into thinking that it's an honor. Yeah. But then the girls do all choose to become, so they all have like names like Charity and Prudence and those horrible things, like virtue names. They have virtue names. And then what does she change her name to? So
yeah, I'm definitely getting cult Amish.
Yeah.
just cult. You don't even need to throw Amish, it's cult.
I'm trying to think of what her
the Amish would not do. I don't think the Amish would do that, but
no,
I don't know anything about the Amish, to be fair. So.
No. What is this character's name? Because and then she changes it to something really awesome. I don't remember what. So we'll call her Charity because I don't remember, because it's something stupid like that. And then she figures out like the old ways with the witches and stuff, and she changes her name to something like Rage. And I'm like, okay. Mm-hmm. She kills her father. It's fine.
Okay. Mm-hmm. It's no biggie.
All right, why not? So that's weird. That's just weird. This is all weird. So
I know. All right.
All right. Here we are.
Okay.
So I made a very interesting PowerPoint.
I mean, you gotta read the first line because oh my god.
Anime hotties that cannot be forgotties. Smash, pass, or run for your life. How good is your intuition? So, we will be starting off our fun little game with my choices. Like I said, some of them are mainstream, some of them are not. Almost none of them are from like a super recent anime series, because I did like kind of just retract to the ones that I've watched. I honestly don't remember all the ones that I chose, so I might be surprised as I go through here because it's been a little while. I also I threw in a couple of chicks in there too, and I threw in some ones just because it amused me, and I want to see whether or not you guys figure out how interesting they are. I did describe one person to Ani as a mafia version of Tamaki from Ouran High School Host Club. So we'll go from there and see how that goes.
I really want to know who this
identify
mafia Tamaki is.
Yes. So, are you guys ready to smash, pass, or run for your life?
Yes.
Ready to smash.
Erin smash.
There's definitely more than a couple that you should just run from, to be honest. You just gotta run, girl. All right. Oh yeah, I did say that already. I forgot I did that.
Love the smash.
I haven't looked in this PowerPoint. I have not looked at this PowerPoint in 3 weeks. Okay, we're all gonna be surprised.
Well, that's fun, isn't it?
It was just biggest comedy surprise to you and me and Erin and everybody else. Like, alrighty. So our categories obviously are smashed if you like them, pass if you just
Run
or
for your
run
life.
for your life if you think you're a complete psycho. But the point is that I'm going to show you who these people are. I'm going to give you like 2 little pieces of trivia. You have to tell me what you think, and then I will tell you whether or not that's a good idea.
All right.
So, starting off with one of my only mainstream people here, like lead character wise, anyway, with Ichigo Kurosaki from Bleach. He likes chocolate. His nickname is Strawberry, and I did put a quote in from every one of my people, just because it's easy to do that with anime like wikis, as I can just pull up quotes from people really easily. But yeah, his quote is, "I'm not a punk who can sit back and do nothing while somebody is going to die for his sake." And this is Ichigo. Like, he is a soul reaper. So
that's a smash for me.
Okay. Yeah, I'm thinking because I have heard this name mentioned. I'm thinking it's a smash with a little bit of danger.
Yeah.
That's fair. So, and Ani said smash. That's fair. Ichigo Kurosaki is the lead character from Bleach. He is a good guy, so there you go. He's not completely insane.
Except when he turns into that thing.
To be fair, in this, like, I have 2 pictures of Ichigo up here. One is in his like standard Soul Reaper form, and then another one is one of the definitely advanced forms. He does have full control over himself when he has like the long black hair. It's when he has the weird white mask on that he just kind of goes into.
It's the white mask one I'm thinking
mildly
of, yeah.
be a serial killer. You don't know, but he is the good guy, and he knows Rukia, which is the female Soul Reaper he meets that gives him his abilities and stuff like that. He knows her for like a month or 2 before she gets like taken to be executed, and he challenges an entire dimension to a war in order to save her, just after knowing her for just a little while. So, and he continued pretty much he does that for pretty much all of his friends throughout the series. He has to challenge a new dimension to save their lives. So,
good guy.
Ichigo is one of the most honorable characters you'll ever meet. He's just a very honorable person, and while I hate who he ended up with, like, I hate her so much, but he would make an excellent husband material. I will say that. So
okay,
that could be a long-term smash right there, and you wouldn't have
long-term smash.
All right, next up we have, I have no idea. There we go. Portgas the Ace from One Piece. He is a pirate. He's 6'1", and he creates fire. It's his special ability after he ate I don't remember the name of the weird fruit that he ate that gave him powers. But everybody in One Piece that has powers ate a weird fruit.
I don't like the mustache.
I was gonna say I don't like the mustache, and therefore pass.
I can't do the stash.
He doesn't have a mustache. Oh wait, what? Like on his face? Yeah. There's no mustache.
No, on the picture on the side. What am I looking at? Or is that his teeth?
That's the drawing of his mouth, like right there. That is not a mustache. That is the art style of his mouth.
It's his teeth.
Okay, I don't like that either.
I mean, that's fair. I was just like, there's a tattoo of a giant skull with a mustache on his back, but that's not in either of the pictures that you're looking at. So
no, that's teeth.
Yeah, that's strictly a pass.
That's just the way the style is. Yeah, they all have, like, everybody in One Piece has really like wide mouths, so it's just the art. I mean, you can kind of tell based on the person in like the background here with like just the way his mouth is open really far. So
I will say that the picture on the left, where like you don't see his eyes, but like you can see like the typical smile from the anime thing.
Yeah,
he looks hot there. That's a smash. Whatever the fuck is going on in the other one is a pass.
That's valid.
Yeah.
This is the picture on the right is from the actual like series and everything, but it's pretty early on before like his art style gets a lot better. So like it is one of the early depictions of it. It's actually one of the first pictures of this character. But the later ones do kind of like fall in line with more from like the fan art that's on the left. So
then that's a smash if it's the fan art.
And he's very well built. I will say, very well built. He is a pirate. He has a huge bounty on his head, so like he is actively running from the law at every opportunity. So, and his father's the pirate king, former pirate king. So, smash for Ani. Erin,
I'm gonna.
Can you get past the weird teeth mustache?
I'm ignoring that image. I'm going with the fan art.
I mean, I feel similarly that the picture on the left is much more appealing.
Mm-hmm.
In a Outback Crocodile Dundee meets Mad Max kind of thing. So
that's valid. That is it. It is definitely
can I
Australian
smash
vibes
after I get to know him.
Sure, he has a great sense of humor. I'll give him that.
Right.
He does have narcolepsy
smash.
where he just passes out at any random moment, though. So, like, you would have to deal with that.
Mid-coitus, he just passes out.
Just
oh, no.
he doesn't, like, it's not like a gentle, like, into the good night kind of thing. It's just a slam on the ground, mid-meal kind of situation.
And you actually said coitus. I can't believe you said coitus.
Coitus.
I gotta make it entertaining.
So it's a tentative smash is what I'm hearing, like tentative.
Tentative.
Yeah.
Tentative
might just be like it's a nice to meet you, but maybe not. Maybe not so much of a running, or it's just like a gentle pass. Just it depends.
It's a nice to meet you right now.
Yeah, it's like a
could be good to know you in the
direction.
Good to know you in the future.
Would it change your opinion if you knew his father was the former pirate king, but he wasn't actively born until he was 2 years old?
What the fuck does that even mean?
His mother refused to give birth until he was 2.
How does that work?
Well, that changes my conception of age, because I kind of I assumed age began when you were born, but
she held him in her womb for 2 years, is what I'm saying.
She must have done some intense Kegel exercises for that.
I don't know how she did it, but because his father had just been assassinated. Like his father, who was the pirate king, had been caught and beheaded and everything like that while she was pregnant. And so they knew that his wife was pregnant, so they went looking for her. And so she ran, but when she did, like, she refused to give birth, to like try and put people off the scent, because they wouldn't expect like a pregnant woman after a certain amount of time, I guess. And it's just like, it doesn't make any fucking sense, however. And he does have a misspelled tattoo on his arm, but that was actually on purpose. So because the S, it's his name that's like tattooed on his arm, but it says ASCE with the S crossed out. But what you learn later is that the S is actually for his brother, who they thought died. So when they were all really little. So, but he's not dead. But this one is. So this character is in fact dead. So he did die. So there is that. So all right.
I think we're leaning more towards the past then for me.
That's fair. Nobody's allowed to judge me. I know, but this is Dabby from My Hero Academia. Anybody who's seen My Hero Academia is actively judging me. His real name is Toya. He also creates fire, but his fire is blue and is called Cremate, and it is so hot it instantly cremates anything he touches. So
I'm thinking this is more of a run for the hills. No judgment, but I just think I think it's a run for the hills. Mm-hmm.
Anybody with common sense might agree with
now,
there are listeners who are like, you know, fucking shit.
Is the discoloration on his body, like where I clearly see staples, is that burnt skin?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Is it crafted or is it?
I'm pretty sure that's just his burned skin, and it is being kept together by the staples that are attached to his non-burned skin.
This is definitely a run for the hills.
Yeah, that's fair. He's also a serial murderer, so like, to be entirely fair, his father, spoilers for anyone who hasn't seen like the last year of My Hero Academia, is the number 2 hero in the world. And his dad wanted to be the number 1 hero, but he couldn't beat the number 1 hero. So what he did is he bought a wife, he paid actual money for his wife who had a power, because his father's ability is fire, and he wanted, but he overheats too easily, so he wanted a wife whose power was ice that